Do you love Louis Vuitton bags but simply can't afford to buy one and you just admire them on the internet or in real life when you see other people wearing them? Well, that used to be me, and now I have a whole collection full of Louis Vuitton bags and I didn't have to pay retail for any of them. And I'm so excited to show you that you can own a genuine Louis Vuitton bag for just under $1,000 by just buying vintage. And today I'm going to talk you through 5 vintage authentic Louis Vuitton alternatives to Louis Vuitton's most classic bags. And with just these 5 bags, you can actually have a complete collection that covers all bases. Now today I'll be showing you vintage alternatives to these 5 classic Louis Vuitton bags. So the Neverfull, a tote bag, the Speedy Bandouliere, an everyday bag, Pochette Metis, a crossbody bag, the Pochette Felicie, which is a 2-in-1 mini and clutch bag, and the Pochette Accessoires, a mini bag. And for each bag, I'll be showing you the vintage alternative. We'll compare the prices so you can see how much you can save. We'll be looking at a side-by-side comparison of these bags, including mugshots and dimensions. And I'll be showing you what fits into the vintage alternative. Now, so just for reference, all prices will be in US dollars. So starting off with the ever so popular Neverfull, Louis Vuitton's quintessential tote bag. So this is currently priced at $2,030 US dollars for the most popular MM size. I just can't afford this. So introducing my Sac Weekend PM, and she's my alternative to the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. And I bought her for $400 US dollars, and you can still find her for under $500 US dollars. So that's a savings of over 75% or $1,500. Isn't that amazing? So let's look at these 2 bags side by side. Both bags have a very similar vibe and size. You can carry the kitchen sink with both bags. You can bring all your essentials. What I love about the Sac Weekend is that it has treated leather, not vachetta leather. So this means it's an all-weather bag and it's water resistant, unlike the Neverfull, which has vachetta leather. So you have to be a bit more careful with the Neverfull, particularly in rainy weather. Check out these awesome big pockets on the front and the back of the Sac Weekend. Now let's compare the dimensions. Both bags have very similar dimensions, but to summarize, the Sac Weekend PM is a bit longer and a bit taller, but it is a bit thinner. Now the strap drop is also shorter for the shoulder straps, but the handles are a bit thicker and more round so that it doesn't dig into your skin. So this is what they look like from the front and the back. So you can see that the Sac Weekend does have these 2 big outer pockets, which I love, which the Neverfull doesn't. Let's take a look at them from the top. So one major advantage of the Sac Weekend is that it has a top zip. The Neverfull does not. Now both bags do have a large interior pocket, and the Neverfull does come with an extra detachable pouch, whereas the Sac Weekend does not. The Sac Weekend is completely leather lined, which I absolutely love, whereas the Neverfull has fabric lining. So a lot of the newer Louis Vuitton bags no longer have leather on the inside, it's some sort of fabric. So to me, leather lining is a beautiful touch that you can find on lots of the vintage bags. Another major plus for the Sac Weekend is that it has feet on the bottom, whereas the Neverfull does not. I love bags with feet. Overall, the Sac Weekend is the winner for me because number 1, the price is so much better. Number 2, it's all weather bag. Number 3, the zip at the top, and number 4, the feet at the bottom. Now if you want to see more details about this bag, I actually have a proper review video on it, which I'll link up above and in the description box down below for you. So now let's take a look at what fits in the Sac Weekend PM. This bag is so roomy, you can carry the kitchen sink. It's great as a carry-on for traveling even. So here you can see it's packed with a phone, sunglasses, small wallet, portable charger, bottle of water, a cardigan, your keys, lip balm, lipstick, and there's still so much more room to spare. So tell me your thoughts so far. Are you team Neverfull or are you team Sac Weekend PM? It's the Sac Weekend PM that's the winner for me. Hi everyone, and if we haven't met before, I'm LadyVintageBags, and I'm here to show you that you can not only own but also collect beautiful vintage designer handbags just on a budget. So if you're into pre-loved vintage and affordable designer handbags, then stick around because I'm your girl. Okay, now back to the video. Okay, so next up is the Speedy Bandouliere. Now this is the classic Louis Vuitton everyday bag. It did used to just be the original Speedy with the top handles, but now we are in the age of hands-free, so the Speedy Bandouliere has taken over as the more popular everyday bag. Now the 30 centimeter size is currently priced at $1,890. That's just way above my budget. So introducing my vintage alternative, which is the Sac Bandouliere, which is also 30 centimeters across. And I got her for under $200, and you can still find her for under $500 on the pre-loved market. So that's a savings of nearly $1,400 or 75%. So let's take a look at both of these bags side by side. Now they're both really great utility bags, great for everyday use. The Speedy does have both a top handle and a crossbody strap, which is a plus, whereas the Sac Bandouliere just has a crossbody strap. However, this crossbody strap does have settings for both short shoulder and long shoulder, so it is 2-in-1. So what I love about the Sac Bandouliere is that it is made from this treated pigskin leather, meaning it's an all-weather bag and water resistant, much like the leather that's on the Sac Weekend. So therefore, it's not vachetta. You don't have to worry about water stains at all. You just wear the bag, no fuss, no muss. So let's take a look at the dimensions side by side. So both are 30 centimeters long, so they have the same length. So the Sac Bandouliere is a bit shorter and a bit thinner, and the shape overall is more rectangular compared to the Speedy. So the strap length of the crossbody strap is quite similar on both bags. Let's take a look at them from the front and the side. So let's take a look at the interior. So the Sac Bandouliere is completely leather lined, whereas the lining on the Speedy is fabric. So another great thing that I love about the Sac Bandouliere is that the zipper extends down on both sides, so you get a really wide mouth opening, so it is quite easy to get things in and out. Whereas the Speedy doesn't have this, and the zippers stop right on the edges, so the mouth of the bag is a bit smaller. Now if you're loving the Sac Bandouliere so far, I actually have a full review video on this bag, so you can see more about it, which I'll link up above and in the description box down below. So now let's take a look at what fits in the Sac Bandouliere. So you can fit a bottle of water, a phone, sunglasses, compact wallet, portable charger, some trail mix, cardigan, keys, lipstick and lip balm. This bag really packs a punch when it comes to capacity, and I even use this as a carry-on bag when I travel on planes, and it can fit under the seat of the seat in front of you as well, so you don't have to put it in the overhead compartment. Okay, so next up, let's look at the Pochette Metis. This is the classic Louis Vuitton crossbody bag. Everyone, their mum, their sister all want or have a Pochette Metis. But the empreinte leather one is priced at $2,840. That's just way above my budget. So here's my alternative, and she's called the Louis Vuitton Monceau. And I have two of them. That's how much I love this bag. And I bought them both for under $500 US. And you can still find these for under $1,000 just depending on which condition you go for. So that's a savings of over $1,800 or 65% off. And some people speculate that the Monceau was actually the original design inspiration for the Pochette Metis. Okay, so now let's look at these two bags side by side. So both bags look very similar. So they both come with a top handle and a long crossbody strap. Now, if you have a small enough wrist, you can actually slip your hand through the top handle of the Monceau, but that's impossible with the Pochette Metis. So the Pochette Metis, you do have to hold by the top handle. Otherwise, both bags look gorgeous worn as long shoulder bags or crossbody bags. So let's compare the dimensions of the two. So just to summarize, the Monceau is a bit longer and taller, but they both do have about the same width. The Monceau does have a taller top handle, meaning small wrists can be slipped through, whereas that really is impossible with the Pochette Metis. The strap drop appears to be a little bit longer with the Monceau, but they are roughly the same. Both bags do have an S-lock clasp. However, the one on the Monceau is actually functional with a keyhole. Now, I don't have the key, unfortunately, but if you do have the key, you can actually lock it so that people can't open your bag. So I think that's a beautiful touch that you can only find on these vintage bags now. And I also just love the aesthetic of this big gold clasp. This big gold S-lock just melts me. Look, I have this bag, plus I have a couple of others with the giant S-lock as well. Just love it. Now both bags look very similar from the front. You get top handle, detachable crossbody strap. Here they are from the side and from the back. So the Metis does have a back pocket, whereas the Monceau does not. Now the interior construction is a little bit different. The Metis does have fabric lining with an accordion design with various compartments, whereas the Monceau is all the leather lined. It only has one big main compartment and one smaller front compartment, but you do get a zippered compartment at the back. So let's take a look at what fits in the Monceau. You can fit quite a bit in this bag. It's got very good capacity. So you've got phone, sunglasses, a small wallet, portable charger, a bottle of water, a cardigan, your keys, lip balm, and lipstick. Okay, so tell me what you think so far. Are you team Pochette Metis or are you team Monceau like me? For me, the Monceau is the clear winner. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about the Pochette Felicie, a 2-in-1 mini bag / clutch bag. And she's currently priced at $1,490. Now, some might say, hey, this is actually a really good price point for a Louis Vuitton bag, but it's still out of budget for some people like me. So I'm going to introduce you to my alternative, and she is the Sac Bordeaux, also a 2-in-1 clutch and handbag, not quite as mini, and she can still be found for under $500. And in fact, I bought mine for $350 US back in 2019. Now, my alternative is actually a PM size, whereas what I have in my hand is the GM size, so I'll just use this as my demonstrator for now, but the PM size is a bit closer to the Pochette Felicie. So coming in at under $500, that's a savings of approximately $1,000 or 65% off. So let's take a look at both of these bags side by side. So both of these bags can be worn as either an evening clutch or a crossbody bag. Both bags only come with one strap. It is detachable, and they just have one setting. It's not an adjustable strap. Both bags do not have vachetta, so they're both all-weather bags and are water resistant. So that's fantastic. Now, in my honest opinion, the Sac Bordeaux is actually classier looking because of this. Look at this gold LV logo right in the center here, plus this leather detailing. To me, it just gives the bag a little bit more class and a little bit more oomph in the aesthetic. So tell me what you think. Do you agree that this actually looks more expensive and more classic than the Pochette Felicie? Now let's compare the dimensions of both bags. So the Sac Bordeaux PM is a little bit bigger overall. So it's a bit longer, a bit taller, and a bit wider. This is what both bags look like from the front, the side, and the back. Now here's the interior. Now you do get these beautiful inserts with the Pochette Felicie, but the Sac Bordeaux is completely leather lined, whereas the Felicie is fabric lined. And both bags do have an interior pocket. The Sac Bordeaux's one is zippered, whereas the Felicie's one is a slip pocket. So let's take a look at what fits in the Sac Bordeaux. So you can fit phone, sunglasses, small wallet, portable charger, key fob, lip balm, and lipstick. So what do you think is the better buy so far? The Pochette Felicie at $1,490 or the Sac Bordeaux, which you can find still for under $500? Tell me what you think so far. Now, if you're loving the Sac Bordeaux and you want to see more about it, I have a full review video, which I'll link up above and down below, and you can have a closer look at this bag. So next up is the Pochette Accessoires, the quintessential Louis Vuitton original mini bag, but currently priced at $1,290. That's a lot for a little bit of bag, and this is out of budget for some people like me. So what I have instead is the Vintage Pochette Accessoires old model. Now you can get these in both monogram and epi, and I actually have two epi ones right here. I don't have a monogram one, but I'm loving the epi ones because you can get it in all these fun colors. And for this one, I only paid $130 US, and that's the 21 centimeter size. And for this Kenyan fawn one, I paid under $200 as well. So how good is that? 2 Louis Vuitton bags, each for under $200 US. Come on, you can't beat these prices. Now, the vintage monogram ones, you can still find for various prices, $600 and under, but compared to $1,290, that's still a really good deal. And the vintage monogram one basically looks the same as the new one. So that's a savings of approximately $700 or 55% off. So let's take a look at both of these bags side by side. Now both bags nearly look the same. They kept the same basic construction of the bag. They just modified the shape and the size a little bit. Now these epi ones I love to use as quick grab and go bags when I need to go into the car and just quickly run to the store to buy something, or when I'm taking the dog for a walk. They're just so easy to use and very light on the shoulders for anyone who has shoulder and back pain. So let's compare the dimensions of the two. So to summarize, the vintage model is a bit smaller overall, so it does have a shorter length and height, and the strap length is also a bit shorter. But both bags do have the same basic interior construction, just in one main compartment, and they are both fabric lined. Now these Epi ones do have this micro suede or Alcantara lining, which is very nice to feel. So this is what it looks like from the front and the side. So let's take a look at what fits in the Vintage Pochette Accessoire. So I used my Epi one as the example. So it is a mini bag, so you can't fit too much, but it is a phone, a small wallet, key fob, just the essentials you need. So tell me what you vote for, the new model Pochette Accessoire or the vintage one. For me, I love my vintage Epi ones. Can't beat them at this price, under $200. So tell me what you think so far. Do you love the classic alternatives that I showed you? And if you're into vintage Louis Vuitton authentic alternatives to the Louis Vuitton current bags, I have a whole playlist for this, which I'll link up above and in the description box down below.